Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna look at Infinite Dingo killing voice performance, and I have to say that I am quite excited because just recently my patrons made me react to 2 of Infinite live performances, which was Bad and Destiny. And I have to admit that I've never heard about Infinite before, so this was like a brand new experience for me, and both of the performances were completely live with the raw vocals. I was so impressed. So if you want to see some extra reactions and analyses to Infinite, definitely head to my Patreon. Again, it's gonna be linked down in the description. And now, without any further ado, Infinite on Killing Voice. Let's go. All right, let's go. Killing Voice is just not a serious program anymore. Everybody's arriving like little kids. I love it. It's cute.
저희 인피니트가 5년 만에 뉴 이모션스로 돌아왔습니다.
와.
5년 만에.
I do not know names of all the members. I'll do my best to describe them, and hopefully in the future I will learn them properly by heart. That's what I aspire to do with every band that I react to.
미치겠어 이제 더 이상 참을 수가 없어 잠도 못 자 거친 옷과 괴로움 나를 흔들어 화가 나고 남은 거라곤 후회 또 그리움 이렇게 날 포기할 순 없어 다시 돌아와 다시.
From the get-go, listen, I know that the Dingo, as well as many other programs, are post-produced. There is a post-production, but I generally noticed that some of the groups have a little bit more post-production. This is usually not based on the group's preferences. It's usually based on company preferences. So some companies do prefer their vocalists to have like much more post-production, and some are much more natural, right? For example, IU had a very natural feeling in her Dingo performance. These guys also have, like, if you listen to this and compare it to other Dingo performances, they have an interestingly very natural tone. So far, maybe it's gonna change towards the other half of the video, but here they're having like a pretty natural tone. They do not have a lot of backing track, and also I do not hear a lot of reverb, like too much of a filter on the voice. So again, Infinite is definitely, you know, proving that they are really good at live performances. So far, I've heard a lot of chesty sounds, which again, I am in dire need in today's K-pop. I know that Infinite is, you know, an older band, older in a sense that they've been on the market for a longer time. Like this song is from 2010. Okay, so it's a span. It's a lifespan right there. You see a lot of trends changing, you know, in the recent years in K-pop and overall in pop. It's just like trends for singing are ever changing. So it's always nice to see some of the things like having a comeback. And yeah, so far a lot of nice supported chest voice, which is pretty rare recently. So I'm happy to hear. Nice place. So it's definitely not too anchored, but he's not heavy mixing. It's just a really nice backed position. It's so it's a mix, but he's not trying to anchor it down too much because it's pretty high tone for him as well. I did like the harmony. I liked it at low tone. Somebody's grounding the sound. I do not know who's it yet. I'm gonna try to identify.
와 벌써 명곡이잖아요.
와,
인피니트 초필살. 잘안 썰고.
They're so handsome.
무한 매력 인피니트 사랑해 지켜봐왔잖아 네 사랑을 긴 이별을 무한 매력.
Very cool voice. Outside of him being incredibly handsome, like look at that man, handsome. But his voice has a tiny bit of a huskiness in it. I'm gonna repeat myself, but I'm again very surprised how little of a filter they have on their voice, like almost nothing.
인피니트 상처받을 바엔 난 게 나아 똑바로 오는 게 싫어서 그래
little elevator learning.
힘들어 그래 그런 널 볼 때마다 3, 2, 1
Gorgeous tone. You could hear that really nicely relaxed vibrato. You could also see how he nicely opened the jaw. A little bit of a worry that I always have is when I see people creating vibrato with either their jaw or their head. You have to be careful of that. But the tone was really nicely opened.
내꺼하자 내가 널 사랑해 내가 널 걱정해
It's a fun jump.
끝까지 책임질게 내꺼하자 네가 날 알잖아
They have very good pronunciation. You can look at their jaws moving, so they are not like very constantly stuck. So the movement of a jaw doesn't always have to be only connected with their belty parts. So of course, when you go to the belt, you do want to drop your jaw. You want to create a lot of resonance, a lot of space. But in the meanwhile, in the lower tones, you also want to pronounce properly. You want to get those vowels and you want to get that shape properly. Still.
내가 널 끝까지 지켜줄게 Do you hear me? Do you hear me? 저절기어 박힌 눈길 끝내 품에서 죽길 바래 찬양맘이 흘리는 걸 삼키는 거 나지막에 들리더라도 감추는 나
That was fast. That was really impressive. So it's going to be probably more of the type of the rapper where we go for the clarity plus speed, right? We kind of can categorize rappers overall in the bigger, broader categories, but he usually mix and match. But I could definitely see that he was definitely going for the clear, fast.
Yeah. 자, 지금부터 쉬지 않고 메들리 이어갑니다. 여러분들 준비됐죠?
Paradise.
뭐가 있어야지 여기가 파라다이스 인피니트 넘어봅니다. 파라다이스
They're so hyper. I actually love their energy. They're having fun.
가자! 삐끗삐끗 고장난 내 마음이라 이대로 보낼 순 없어 어쩌자고
I love his voice. So far, definitely my favorite. Not only because of his tone quality, but also the way his diction goes. Like, nah, oh, oh. But he still keeps that support going. So he made a couple of kind of like interruptions and jumps in this little phrase. And he was holding that tone very solidly together. So without actual proper support, it would crumble. But again, my favorite so far. So he's also doing that jump, but he's more leaning into the air. Right? It's magical. Like every group in K-pop, every boy group has that one smiley quality that guy has right there. I don't know how you guys find them. I don't know how you guys find them, but it's a treasure in every group. It just brings so much versatility to the final sound.
언젠간 멈출 테니까 네가 있어야만 여기가 paradise.
I've heard a couple of cries, but overall, I'm just really enjoying their vocal arrangement. We've got some harmony before. I really hope for more harmony. I always will. I always do. But so far, I really like their kind of line distribution. Got a lot of jumps into the head voice. A lot of unisono sound.
에이. 개인적으로 정말 좋아하는 노래입니다. 와. 여러분들 행복합니까? 좋아요.
Can you smile?
아주 오래전
Aren't you a rapper, sir?
너를 보았던 그 느낌을 기억해 난
Oh, he has really nice voice and I love his style. Listen.
행복합니까?
좋아요 보세요.
행복해요. 아주 오래전 너를 보았던 그 느낌을 기억해 난
I like his style. He works pretty nicely with air. So he's not like a butcher. Da 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 da. Very R&B. I really, really love it. This is kind of the style that is so listenable. I came up this word listenable. I know it's just grammatically not correct, but I cannot seem to replace it with something actually functional. So that type of voice is just really pleasant to listen to. And don't get me wrong, every voice is nice to listen to, you know? Let's say his voice is just really easy on your ears. Plus that style, which is a little bit more lightweight, a tiny bit more air included in it. So he's not trying to make it too heavy or too dominant and with too much contrast. It's really nicely balanced.
알았던 나를 알았던 그 시절이 생각나 너를 담고 싶
A little bit of a vibrato there. None of them are literally shying away from the vibrato, which vibrato is not very frequent currently, so I like it.
어울리고 싶던 간절했던 시간을 난 다시
Good jump in ahead voice there. It was almost a yodel. It was very well handled.
하나 추억뿐인걸 And can you smile 네가 원하잖아 네가 바라잖아 내 맘만으로는 널 잡을 수가 없는가 봐 And can you smile 내가 가라잖아 난 괜찮다잖아 마지막 너에게 난 이것밖에 못 주나 봐 Yeah, 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 yeah.
They literally wanted to continue with that song. Let them continue with the song. I'm so mad. The song was so freaking good. I'm just like, we're hearing samples of the song, so never forget if you listen to the Dingo Killing Voice here on my channel or on the original channel. If you like the song, go and support. Watch the full song. Put it in your playlists. Don't forget to support if you like the band.
와 이거 오랜만이다. 와.
So this is called TikTok.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, TikTok.
나 이런 게 서툴러 어디부터 어떻게 해야 앞뒤 없는 얘기만 하고 있는 나를 봐
They're both aspirating the end of their phrases, which sounds very medical. In the plain speech, they're putting a lot of air towards the end of their phrase, which is very 90s R&B, if you remember a lot of boy bands. Right? At the very end of the phrase. It's stylistic. Personally, I really like it. I know a lot of people dislike that. I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's part of the certain singing style. They were both aspirating the end of the phrases. That's really nice.
떠나지 말아 달라고 너란 말뿐 못하고
화부터 자꾸만 내는 내 모습 미안하지만 다시 한 번 더 말해봐 다시 말해봐 아주 가라고 네가 내
He reminds me a little bit of Eunkwang from B2B, a very good singer. He has nicely opened higher tones. So whether he's singing in a belt or he's singing in a mix, the resistance is always there. The resonance is really nice. And just those upper tones are really nice and open. He has a good position.
눈을 잃고 있다며 이럴 순 없어 다시 한 번만 더 해봐
Spots the dancer. A lot of cries there.
끝을 말하지 마 내 심장을 멈추지는 마 틱탁 미쳐간다 참이 아이스 훔쳐본다 심장 감각이 없어진 맘이다 지마조차가 넘을 수 없는 너와 나 사이의 강인가 다 잃어가도 화망해 모든 걸 걸고 건너가.
He's so versatile. Honestly, I'm fluctuating between him and the other singer and the favoritism from my side, but he is really impressive. The rap is very good. Like, I'm not a rap person. I do not rap. If you would hear me rap, it would sound terrible. Trust me, it would be very, very awkward. Like, I could try, but it would be very awkward. But his rap just sounds good. It has good pacing. He can go very, very fast, and he just has this very leveled kind of line distribution. I'm not sure if he's writing his own parts, but it sounds really, really good. But he's a solid singer on top of that, and he has a great presence outside of the really incredible jawline is to kill for, but outside of the jawline, he is very versatile. I would love to say, let me know, can he dance? Because if he dance, we've got a guy that is excellent in all 4 categories. And listen, you know what we call those?
Hey. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
They're so hyper. I would love to have their energy.
네가 멀어진다. 멀리섬이 된다. 나를 대신 못해.
That was a very nice supported belt. You can hear it right away. It was a healthy, nice supported belt with a tiny little bit of vibrato at the end. Beautiful. That's so cute. I love those ad-libs from the singer with that elevated larynx. That ad-lib is it sounds so good there. I'm sorry to get excited about stuff like this, but it sounds so good there. He's really good. You can see that there's not a lot of tension, if any, and the tension that he has is more on a healthy side, but you can hear on the tone it is not suppressed, it's not closed. Those tones are really nicely open and supported. Men in love.
없던 사랑 노래를 흥얼거리고 성 멜로드라마는 모두 내 얘기 같고
전에 없던 멋을
His voice is really sweet. He's playing such an important role in the final sound. If you listen to them singing together in the choruses, you can hear his voice coming through so much, and it's just creating this like a midline for the sound. It's really pretty.
외모에 신경 쓰고 커피에 쓸 맛을 알아가 시간은 참 빠르게 가 마음만 주급해져가고 내 곁에 너를 상상해 혼자만의 영화를 찍어 남자가 사랑할 때 꼭
Now thinking about it, I have to say that I know his voice sounds like naturally husky, but correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like he's a little sick, a tiny little sick. I've been doing my medical kind of like extra education in medical when it comes to ears, vocal cords and nose. So this whole section, he does sound a little bit sick to me, because you can hear how the vocal cords are slightly tightened up. His voice is a little tightened up. It's not because of the technique. Also, his sinuses sound a tiny bit full. So let me know if he was sick for this. But his voice is really pretty, and the huskiness too. But I'm just like listening to that closely right now, and I've got a feeling.
곁에 머물면서 늘 해주고 싶은 게 참 많아 사랑에 빠질 땐 내 삶에 모든 걸 다 주고서 단 하나 그만만 바래 사랑에 빠질 땐 뭐라고요? 남자가 사랑할 땐 한 번 더 Let's go 남자가 사랑할 땐 점점 붉어지는 볼에 천천히 떨어지는 내 고개야
They always cut off of the best parts of the songs. At least that's how it sounds like, because that rap started to be so fire before they just were like, next one. And I'm like, okay, well, another song on the list that I would like to listen to later. Cover Girl.
마주하고 싶지 않아 그 어떤 아름다운 이별도 언젠간 떨어지겠지 다시 볼 수 없겠지 이런 얘기 하기에 짤짤없죠니
I don't know if he's the rapper or he is one of the rappers, but he had very singerish rap. So there is the rap that, you know, like, okay, this person is a rapper, and then there are kind of, I call it a singerish rap. So you can see that the person is a singer and they're just like covering the rap part, you know. It's slightly more melodic. I cannot even describe exactly what it is, but it's a singerish rap, if you know what I mean. He's incredible. Also the charisma on him.
화를 내도 웃지 어떻게 내가 널 싫다 하겠어 난 하나면 돼 난 하나면 돼
Actually, the aspiration, like those airy ends of the phrases, is pretty consistent with the singers in this group. So it's an interesting stylization. I essentially, at the beginning, I kind of noticed it on the people that do it more prominently, that is like more noticeable. But now I'm kind of tiny hints here or there, kind of noticing on most of the singers.
너도 다 알지 뻔한 걸 완벽히 믿어 나만 믿으면 돼 그럼 난 네 거야 항상 줄넘기 와 이거 명곡이죠 아예 이오우
Julia.
이 노래 아시죠? 줄리아 이름을 가지신 분은 더 특별하게 가자
Fantastic vowels. E, O. Perfect. Perfect for pronunciation. If you have any tone in singing e are the two that you want to go for. Oh, and then you have more closed vowels like E. He's like incredible. I don't know what to think. He does everything. Smooth movement for the passaggio. Very nice movement for the passaggio without any kind of blockage or stress. You can hear it at the end of the phrase. It's dun, 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 dun.
난 너에게 바라던 건 그저 작은 얘기
내가 바라던 건 그저 너와의 같은 시선
I would use him much more as a voice, by the way. I like the voice arrangement, but I would definitely use the guy with the black suits, that smiley tone. It's beautiful, but they really use it seldom. I would love to hear him a little more.
난 너에게 바라던 건 함께이길
Pretty. A little vibrato, but still finished with a cry.
맘에 담아두었던 시간 어제의 기억이 벌써 가슴속에 하나의 추억이 돼 가자
Oh my god, those upper tones. The echo from them was beautiful. They've got a lot of jokes on that. Yes, I need more of that voice. has to be supported with, actually, that has to be that has to be really well worked with the air, because you're interrupting that air there.
여전히 넌 기억으로 이어져
And then that voice.
늘 야한 그리움에 살아나
I like this song. It's so cute.
이미 나한 추억에 잠겨 있어
I like his choice. He sometimes uses a little bit of vibrato. Sometimes he uses a vocal kind of cry to finish the phrase. But damn, he's comfortable in his voice. He is so confident. All of them are very confident in their voices, but they're like two people that are just like so confident in their voice and comfortable in their placements and
그러지 마. 화이팅. 짱똥 화이팅.
before the dawn.
알지 이거? Because I listen to my heart, listen to my heart. 아무리 노력해도 너를 가질 수 없다면 넌 아니라더라 거지가 다.
Difficult for breath management. Try it at home. You're gonna feel how much you have to manage your air, and also how much you have to put those abs to work.
난 이렇게는 못 놔. 그게 답답해. 그게 막막해.
That voice, like, listen, that is an anchor point in a group. So you can have a variety of different sounds that really cut through, right? And it's just like an anchor point for the entire sound. And it can be like a exceptionally low voices. They can be really high voices. They can be something that is very much standing out, and that's his voice for this group.
Before the dawn, 내 마음만은 집착이 아니야. Before the dawn, before the dawn, 널 반드시 꼭 잡아내고 싶어. 사랑을 속삭이던 두 입술, 맞닿은 채 스타치던 두 눈, 자락을 피해 fly to the my heart. I will be there by your side.
Is he the only rapper in the group? This is really interesting because, like, I'm confused. I'm confused for the positions at this point, because I mostly hear everybody singing, and so far I heard him rap and then one other member rap, but the other member rapped like once and for just a couple of seconds. And most of the rap I can see being covered by him, and I'm like, what's happening? Do we have like a boy group where we have like one rapper and all of the rest of our singers? Is this my dream come true? No, I'm joking. It's not that I wouldn't like rappers. It's not that I wouldn't like a good rap in a song, but this is like really unusual. I really like it. Let me know if they do have fixed positions, and if they are a band without fixed positions, that's what I'm the biggest fan of. So I do not mind rappers. I do not mind fully vocal groups, but if we have no positions and people can do whatever they want and they can rap if they feel like that and they can cover vocals too, that's what I'm fan of.
이 곡을 빼놓고 인피니트를 논할 수는 없는 곡이죠.
맞죠?
추격자부터 이번 신곡 누이 모션스까지 쭉 달려볼까요?
네, 렛츠
Let's go!
달려라! 추격하자! 미안해 마 독하게 날 버리고 떠나도 돼 네가 원한다면 그래 goodbye 난 내 맘까지 좁은 건 아니야
Listen to those substantial lower registers. Most of the time recently, when I hear like people singing in the lower tones, they're so airy, or they're just like diffusing into nothing. They cannot find a stable tone in the lower places. These are the nice stable tones.
내 사랑이 이겨
하야 먼저 가 어기야 이어랍차 어기야 뛰어 되찾을 거야
잠시 앞서도 널 따라잡으리 난 그녀를
I'm like, because the main dancer, they just can't help themselves. So many times I made the videos and everybody's kind of being able to contain themselves. Then there's the main dancer. There's the main dancer right there that just cannot control anything, any body movement whatsoever.
잊어버린 이별의 말 앞에 멈춰가는 가슴 지금 무릎 꿇어본 나 꺼져버렸어 권장작 같은 슬픔에 타버린 날 끌어본다 지금 내 맘이 왜 아직 내 맘을 매일 설레고 헤매게 하는지 걸어본다 사랑의 날 굳게 만들지 또
I love him when it comes to rap as well. He has some speed, but he doesn't overuse it. For sure. He's got slower phrases, but then he also can cram like a lot into very tiny space. There's a certain melodicity to his rap as well, so it's not too narrow or just too monotone. It's really good for storytelling. It's less of an effect, more of a storytelling, and I really, really enjoy that.
드디어 왔다 이 노래다
Bad. Okay, this is the one that I've heard.
모든 걸 다 걸어
Impressive. I'm not sure which one I first heard, if it was Bad or if it was Destiny. But if I can really recommend you, if you're new to Infinity, go and watch their live performances. I was so surprised. Like, listen, usually people get at least like background tracks and just like a little bit of a help here and there and a little bit of a support. Those live performances were incredible. And I'm not saying even that they were not even stationary. They were moving. So a lot of movement and a lot of choreo. So it's definitely not just like, oh, they sang well because they were literally just standing on one place, right? It was impressive. It was really impressive. Let me know if you would like to see me reacting to those on my main channel as well. And if not, and if you want to check them right now, immediately, you can go to my Patreon. They're all there right now. Oh yes, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to replay this because this part is very impressive. You are attacking the tone. What attack on the tone means that you do not have any preparation, like a slide, bet it on or bet it on you or something like that. You don't have that kind of like that preparation for that tone. Hey! That's, for example, a good prep for the tone. It's a little slide into the tone. But here they are jumping right into the tone. It's attack on the tone. Bet it on you! You can hear that that can be incredibly tricky. So you're jumping in a tone, it has to be perfectly clear, your pitch cannot waver around, it has to be perfectly supported, like your breath has to work for you there. And it's just so hard. And then ooh, so hard as well because you're short. Okay, a little girl. Okay, I remember this one. I'm such a fan of this song. First of all, that bet it on you, and then bet girl. It's just, oh, I love this song. I love it. Good falsetto. It would be really interesting if he would do it in a head voice, not a head voice, and a head mix. But I really like that he didn't go into just airy head voice, but he tried to pull that falsetto. It was really nice.
Like roller coaster. So bad.
His diction is so good right there. Love his voice.
Lose my focus, 네 주문에 하나둘 지워져 주위가 너밖에.
That's how you spot a person who's used to sing very live, because they know how to work with microphone. One thing that you don't want to do is stay at the same distance to the microphone when you're about to belt. He has some speed, but he doesn't overuse it. for sure. He's got slower phrases, but then he also can cram like a lot into very tiny space. There's a certain melodicity to his rap as well, so it's not too narrow or just too monotone. The reconnection is beautiful. So the first two tones are in a head voice, da, 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 da. But then it cuts straight through the vocal break. I'm sorry, I cannot speak because I'm so excited. So it cuts straight through the vocal break into the bell. That you can hear that kind of the little vocal flip that you hear there is a vocal break. So he's cutting straight through it into the belt. I love that stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do.
절대 그대로 못 보낸 너야.
No. Oh, that was really, really good. So a little bit of a lift. No. With a lot of way down. And then into that aspiration. Fun. That song I love. Again, I've heard it once before on my Patreon, and I'm such a fan of that song. If you would see the choreo, oh my god, please go watch. Please go watch this song with the choreo and a live performance. It's insane. It's so good. Oh, that's high. 너를 벗어나려 해도 멀리 도망치려 해도 또 휩쓸려 내게로 끝나지 못한 이별과 이별. So this is pretty difficult, especially with that E. So you have to let that E travel a little bit forward and up. If you would try to go with that E for the glottal space, you can hear it's just it's so unhealthy. Also sounds very restricted, so you have to press that E a little bit more forward. You are risking a little bit of a nasal timbre, but we don't care. It's healthy and it sounds much more diffused and without so much stress because it's not just blocked in your throat. That was a cool choreo.
Hey.
I'm telling you, the choreographies for Infinite, pretty incredible, and they sing live.
갑니다. Anywhere, anytime. 어디 가든 어디 있든 네가 그리워 못 참겠어. 제발 다시 내게 돌아와줘. 제발 다시.
Like, listen, I understand that he is a main singer. By the way, by now, I'm pretty fully aware of that. I'm not sure if he a leader too. He does have a very kind of leading charisma in the whole group. He kind of has everybody under control. But his technique and his confidence is pretty incredible. He has a really nice neutral tone, which don't come for me. Neutral tones are really important. Actually, most of the main singers in the groups have more into the neutral tone. Actually, most of the main singers tend to have pretty neutral tone. So his tone is pretty neutral and his technique is very good. You can see his very proper movement with the jaw, the way he's positioning it. He has very good work with the supports. He has a good breath control and breath management, especially on those short cut tones. If you want to make them really impressive, it's hard. But also he's very smart about positioning his resonance and his tone. I bet he is the main singer of the group, and he's pretty great. And I actually like his little quirks. So sometimes I'm like, okay, this is not going to be sustainable in the long run with a lot of singers and their little quirks, and you have to pick and choose your little quirks and embellishments that you use very frequently. so they're sustainable for you. And he has very sustainable quirks, which just a little red dot for me. It's very good.
네가 그리워 못 참겠어 제발 다시 내게 돌아와줘 제발 다시 내게 돌아와줘 도망쳐버렸어 익숙해져 점점 착각처럼 끝이 온 줄 알았어 다 망쳐버렸어 또 난 뻔한 드라마 속에 서 있는 것 같아 텅 비어 허전해
I love you in my mind 달콤한 너의 말 그때처럼 너에게
I love his voice, but you've heard it from me a lot of times today already. I liked his jumps until... See, he was doing very similar jumps into the like head voice and down reconnecting to the chest. When we heard the main singer doing that, he was cutting through the vocal break, so it was very obvious. The flip there was pretty much out in the open, like you could hear it very, very clearly. He was doing a much more softer climb down. So this is where I'm not trying to flip that vocal break too much. It's much more, I mean, consistent in the sound. I personally enjoy both. Actually, probably for me, I enjoy more the flip one, but again, similar movement and a very different style. You can see the good difference. It's a really nice example.
네, 이번 인피니트가 V 모션스로
There's so little post-production on their voice. I'm really
정말
impressed.
돌아왔습니다. 여러분들 V
Just a little bit of a...
많이 사랑해주세요. Think about you.
New emotions. Is the I think this is their new song.
너무 심한 flu. 아마 그렇게 퍼져버린 듯. Yeah. 가자. 무적한 걸.
That's also built on a voice. Yeah. For me, it's a little too low. But you can hear that it's sliding on a tons of air there.
한시 앞을 모르게 해 라인 널 쫓게 돼지 속에 고장난 나침반 괜찮아 just follow you
Give me a sign 흐릿한 곳 그쯤에서 피어난 그
Flower in you 감정은 보란 듯 빠르게 bloom You make me lose my mind Keep getting
Good position for his voice. A little low, but not to the place where his color would start to disappear. So there's a lot of resonance. And a tiny little bit of a fry. I'm a fan.
Brand new emotions Dance with me 붕 떠지 Can't calm down Brand new emotions You got me to lose my mind Dance with me up all night
Solid head voice.
You got me to lose my mind 널 새다 잠든 밤
See, this is a huge contrast. You have a very low melodic line and then you have jumps into pretty high head voice. The contrast is huge, right? But a lot of times this is exactly what we're going for. Either the contrast, like you always have to build a contrast. This is an extreme contrast. So we have a lot of variety of the ways to build a proper contrast. But this is definitely one of the bigger ones.
어느덧 벌써
Sounds fun.
정말 아쉬운 마지막 한 곡만 남겨두고 있는데요. 벌써요.
Are we gonna get encore?
우리 인피니트와
I really want encore.
예, 함께한
Encore!
그리고 앞으로 쭉 함께할 우리지요.
언제까지나 항상 함께
해요.
사랑해
It's an OST from Grow 2014. Let's go.
언젠가 닿을 그곳에 우리 한결같이 같은 마음으로 우리
Yeah, okay. Fine. It's gonna go to him. That's my favorite from the whole thing. Yes. Fine. My heart has stabilized and found its place and it's here. I genuinely have to give it to him. the versatility and the charisma he shown for this performance absolutely blew me away. So, yep, look at his smile too. He knows he won.
마주보며 웃게 될 그날을 꿈꾸면서 이렇게 한 곳을 바라봐.
I love his tremble.
난 너만 생각하면 눈물이 흘러 내 곁을 항상 지켜주는 고마운 너라
Beautiful voice too.
너만 바라보면 가슴이 뛰어.
These two guys are incredible. They are very, very, very good singers. You can definitely tell the skill on both of them. Not just skill in the higher tones where usually people are like, oh, so they can go really, really high. They showcased a lot when it comes to stylization of their singing, when it comes to approach to different tones in the problematic areas, when it comes to short tones, jumping straight into the tone, so attack on the tone, like variety of techniques and variety of things that are really, really hard to do. But first and foremost, the confidence. Look at them. The confidence was definitely shining through. There was not even a hint of stress or kind of like, it's just they're very confident in their ability, and that comes with time. That doesn't come immediately to you as a singer. No matter how skilled you are, okay? Confidence comes with time and experience.
내 앞을 비추는 밝은 빛이 보여서 함께한 사람 계속 함께할 사람 세상 끝까지 놓치고 싶지 않은 걸 네가 있어줘야 언제까지 꿈꿀 수 있어 내가 그리는 세상은 너로 시작하니까 내 맘이
OSTs are always special. I don't know. I can recognize OST from miles away because they just have completely different vibe.
보이니 내 맘이 들리니 언제나 함께 해줄래 내 맘은 너의 것 내 꿈은 너의 것 영원히 같은 곳에서 우리
I love him as well. He has very interesting sound, a little bit like of a sweet potato in his throat, a tiny little bit. It's not very dominant, but it's definitely there. But he showcased a tremendous amount of technique as well. He definitely handled his passaggio very well. We did hear him a lot in his mix too, and he was doing a very, very good job. He has this descending to really nicely done. It's not congested, it's not restricted. He is letting it to travel really nicely, but still maintaining a good value to that tone. And he's used to sing live with the way he works with the microphone.
놓치고 싶지 않은 걸 네가 있어줘야 언제까지 꿈꿀 수 있어 내가 그리는 세상은 너로 시작하니까
Oh, that was beautiful
네,
top down
인피니트
there.
킬링보이스 그리고 뉴 이모션스 많이 사랑해주세요.
그럼 지금까지
인피니트였습니다. 감사합니다.
사랑해요.
고마워요 킬링보이스.
사랑해 인스피릿.
앨범도
많이
사랑해주세요.
사랑해주세요.
인스피니트한테 가자.
고마워요.
Very well.
인스피니트한테 가자.
So, Infinite on Dingo. Just as I expected them. I've heard them before on my Patreon, again, a little bit, but this is the level of vocal performance that I expected. It was very natural, which is not a thing that this is not a word that I usually use in correlation with the very stylized performances like on Dingo or It's Live because they have heavy post-production, but this sounded very natural. And It was a beautiful showcase of their career. It's a band that's been out for a very long time, but if by any chance you do not know Infinite, please go and support their new release and make sure you just support, listen to it. If you liked any of the older songs, go and check it out. And if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe right here. Here is the video that YouTube actually recommends for you. And here is the rest of my Korean reactions. Please stay safe and healthy. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.